Most service-based founders pick their niche wrong. They pick what they're passionate about. They pick what feels comfortable. They pick what their friends maybe are doing. They pick what looked good on someone else's YouTube channel. And then 6 months later, they're stuck at 20K a month, working twice as hard as they should be, wondering why scaling feels almost impossible. Here's what I've learned after $15 million in revenue and over 1,100 high-ticket clients. The niche you choose is the single biggest predictor of how fast you will scale. Bigger than your offer, bigger than your sales skills, bigger than your marketing. Pick the wrong niche and you will grind for years trying to get to 50K a month. Pick the right niche and 100K a month is mathematically easier than 30K a month in the wrong one. This video isn't a list of just trending niches or whatever Instagram is hyping this week. This is the actual framework I use to evaluate which niches can realistically take a service-based business like coaching, consulting, agency, or expertise-driven offers to 100K a month and beyond. By the end, you will have a clear way to evaluate your current niche, the criteria to pick a better one if you need to, and 5 specific niche categories that consistently produce 100K a month operators. All right, so let's get into it. You have 5 different steps I will guide you in this video. Number 1 is why most founders are in a niche that's a nightmare to get to past 100K a month. Number 2, the 4 criteria every 100K a month niche shares and have in common. Number 3, 5 niches categories that consistently produce 100K a month businesses. Number 4, why niche matters more than offer, sales, or marketing ever will be. And last but not least, how to evaluate whether your niche is right or whether you need to pivot. And this applies whether you are a coach, consultant, an agency owner, or you just run a service-based business. All right, number 1, why most founders pick the wrong niche. And there is a pretty common pattern I see people have. They think like, oh, I just want to help people and people who want to grow and maybe small businesses, entrepreneurs, and they just want to work with anyone in the beginning. And they have the assumption that the bigger the pool of people is they can work with, like the easier it gets. But like from my experience, it's actually the opposite. The more broad a niche you have, the more generic your messaging will be. And then in hindsight, nobody feels like you are talking to them. So all of the conversations like really only do collapse. So you don't get more clients by appealing just to more people. You get more clients by being more undeniably specific. Like a person actually feels like you are talking to them in your messages, in your ads, in your copies, in your emails, in your YouTube videos. And I scaled my first consulting company, Ostos Consulting, to more than 12 million euro by only helping photographers and videographers, which is such a small niche, and only in Germany. And I didn't have a lot of competitors in my field because they probably thought, oh, it's so small, the niche, like it's not even worth it. And I made more than $12 million. So the second mistake I see people do is they're picking niches that making scalar like for them is much harder than it needs to be. What do I mean by that? Like, for example, they sell packages for 2K a package and they need 50 clients every single month to make 100K. That's like 70 to 80 sales calls maybe. You have 50 onboarding calls, you have 50 deliveries, you have 50 relationships versus an offer where your price is maybe like 15K per offer and you only need 7 clients a month. That's also 100K, but only 7 of everything, 7 onboarding, 7 clients, whatever, you name it. Both are real businesses, but completely different amounts when it comes to how much work you really have to put in. So the one is just way easier to scale because with 50 deals, you also need a bigger funnel, like a bigger team, more volume just everywhere. And 7 lets you just run it way leaner, and you can just go way deeper into delivery, which also results to people are more happy and they like working with you together. So clients with more money, like in this case, 15K clients, it is also way easier to work to them. It is way easier to sell them, to deliver them, and also to retain them, to keep working with them because they just simply have more money. And most founders, they never really run this math. They just pick what feels right. And then they work harder than they need for years. And they're constantly hitting the same plateau and thinking like, if I have to hit 50 new clients like every single month or 20, 30, like how is that even possible? Like the numbers just don't add up. And the right niche doesn't change effort in absolute terms. Like it changes really how much effort it produces for the same result. So you don't have to become better. You don't have to do more. Like the opposite is the truth. Like I just told you, you have to do less for more fun, more profit, and also for the same amount of money, which makes it so much easier to scale. Number 2, there's, from my experience, 4 different criterias of a 100K a month niche. And every niche that like consistently produces 100K a month, they usually hit all 4 of those criterias. And if you miss one of them, it's usually that you have like a hard cap on your growth. Like for some reason, your business is just not growing. The number one thing is that the niche you are selling to, it has money. And I know it sounds obvious, but from what I've seen what people do with their businesses, it's not really, because most founders, they just pick niches full of people who want to make money, but not niches who are full of people who have money already. That's like completely different markets. Like the one is money making opportunities, and the other one is like helping people grow what they already have. Like it's very different people you're selling to. So your fee should be a normal expense for them, like for the target audience you are selling to. Like it shouldn't be like a stretch of decision they think about like for 3 weeks. Like for example, if a 10K fee for someone with like 2K in the bank, like of course, like that's enormous pressure. Like that feels super fragile already in a relationship in the beginning. But on the other hand, like a 10K fee for a business that makes, I don't know, like 80K, 100K a month, for them, it's like a super normal investment. And like they sign like very calmly, and they actually implement the stuff you're also teaching them. So, and this applies regardless of what you're selling. It doesn't really matter if it's coaching, consulting, agency. It just depends on who the person is you are selling to. So a question which is really valuable to ask yourself is, does the average buyer have at least 10 times my offer price in monthly revenue or capital? So for example, if you sell a 30K agency offer a year, okay, let's say 2.5K a month, like do they minimum make 25K a month? So they can purchase 10 times. Very good client. Criteria number 2, the niche has measurable and painful problems. And this is a super big one, because if they have small pain, it's fuzzy outcomes, subjective results, like you will be stuck almost forever. On the other hand, if you can name really the pain, like say, hey, they want to grow, they have a lead problem, they have a recruiting problem, like it's a measurable outcome and it's obvious results, you will scale faster than anyone else. Because here's the difference. Let's just say you say, help me feel more confident versus help me go from 30K to 100K a month. The first one is just personal development coach versus the other one is a business growth coach. Like they have the same skill, but it's completely different economics. And it's also what people truly want. So you need to communicate it in the first place with them. So agencies, for example, that delivers like better branding versus qualified leads at defined CPAs, it's also a very different story. Or a consultant that improves operations versus cuts delivery time 40% and increases margin by 20-30%. Like, it is measurable, and it's a specific problem they have, which you come in to solve them. So you need to make sure it is really measurable and it's a concrete outcome, which makes it's just so much easier to sell your business, to sell your offering. So to your offer in sales, in marketing, like in retention rates, in testimonials and referrals. Because if, like, for example, your testimonial videos start with, hey, Yasha helped me grow my business like 10x, whatever, like, people want that. They will start listening. So ask yourself, can the client measure the results in hard metrics? If you don't really have that right now, I would start to find a way to do it. And I want to give you one example. In my old company, I was working with photographers and videographers, and they always thought, oh, it's not really measurable. They just like my work and it looks cool. The videos are not measurable. But that's like very far from the truth, because you can measure leads, you can measure views, you can maybe measure how much it was for them collecting new leads. Like, did it became cheaper to win new clients? Just because you're not measuring it right now, it doesn't mean it can be measured. Number 3 is the niche has repeat buying behavior. And this is something most founders like overlook a lot. And the fastest path to 100K a month isn't more new clients all the time. Because with the example I just gave you, winning 50 new clients every single month, of course, that's really hard. But the truth is, it is selling more to clients you already have, because it is way easier. Like, you don't need to invest in marketing again. They have the trust in you already. And you just have the proof record that you've helped them already. So for them, it's like an easy decision to do it. And this is something you really have to keep in mind, because some niches are one and done. And that's a treadmill, because you are just constantly in this loop of, oh, I have to win new clients and over and over and over again. So retention-friendly niches, clients who grow with you, they upgrade, they add services, they also refer aggressively. Like, for example, like if you look at coaches with long growth journey, not short. Like, if you look at agencies, like this, there's also a lot of industries where ongoing service is like the norm. Like, once they have an agency, they don't quit working with them for years. If you're a consultant, you need to look for clients with evolving problems, not a one-time job done. Or service providers who have offers that lead into the next offer. So I solved this problem for you, now it's the next one. A really good question you can ask yourself is, after a great result, is there a natural path to selling them more? Like, is it already natural? Like, do you see the customer journey being, if they buy this program of mine, the next problem they will face, it's 100% this and this problem. So keep that in mind. And number 4 criteria is that the niche has network density. And premium niches have a very hidden compounding advantage. It is that the buyers in the niche, they know each other. Like, they, for example, go to same events, maybe masterminds, they're in similar communities, group chats, and that results, like good results, like travel way faster in your marketing then, because you don't have to run ads all the time. Of course, it's really helpful, but if they talk to you about it in like word of mouth, and it's from very highly accepted people, like, this is amazing. And one great client then maybe brings you 3 pre-sold friends of his, and the acquisition cost like drops tremendously and your close rate climbs up. And then at some point, it's not really that much luck anymore. It's like it became really structural. So generic small business owners versus like high-end operators in a specific industry, they have that very, very big advantage in common. And it's completely different when you have that referral compounding system, because niche B, for example, gets 100K a month faster, even with worse marketing. Because if they're not super good at paid ads and personal branding, but they just kept this referral engine going and going and going, I've seen people making 100K, 200K a month just from a very small circle of people. And this is also why a lot of specialist businesses outperform generalized ones, because they are just very known in this small niche now. So at the time you're becoming very known for one specific thing in a specific market, it really, really compounds. So you can ask yourself, do my buyers talk to each other? Do they share recommendations? If yes, that's a really, really good thing. All right, let's come to point number 3. And here I want to give you 5 different niches, like categories that consistently produce 100K a month, which I've just seen on consulted more than 1,100 clients, and it just repeats over and over again. And those are not only just categories that work, but the ones I've seen produce like real 100K a month service businesses, or just coaches, agencies. Like the vehicle can change, but the market dynamics usually stay the same. Okay, so the first category are just other service-based operators who make preferably something between 30K to 200K a month already. So other coaches, consultancies, agency owners, service providers with a very specific solution, like not super general, but specific solution in, for example, fitness, health, education, finance. Like those are super, super evergreen markets, which people always want to buy from. People always want to be fit, healthy, wealthy, educated. Like those niches will never go away. Okay. So, and you need to look at those niches who already making real money, but they are maybe like stuck at a plateau. So they can pay you, but they are like super frustrated because they just can't scale any further, like from their own willpower or their own knowledge. So if you, for example, find a person who hits all of those 4 criteria, like they have budget, measurable problems, repeat buying, and the dense networking, that's of course something which is really, really valuable, because like I told you, for them it's very easy to scale. So if you find people like them and you can help them with very small things and they scale very quick, of course, like it's a very amazing client. And the good part about this niche is that your buyer already understands the value of your expertise, because they're kind of selling something similar. So they believe in it because they are offering it themselves. They have also maybe bought programs before. They are not scared of high ticket. And they're also not scared of just getting help. But the only thing they are scared of is working with the wrong person. So you just really have to make sure you are separating yourself from others. And if you're having a niche, and the more you become an expert in one thing, the more they actually see you as a true expert. So you need to position yourself as the right person when you are approaching them, and almost say like, hey, I looked at your business. I know you're doing 70, 100K a month already. I don't want to tell you your business is bad or anything, because it's not. But I looked at it and saw one specific thing we could fix. For example, your ads, your CRM system, your sales, whatever it might be. That's a really powerful niche. Category number 2, it's agencies and like productized service businesses who make like maybe 30K to 150K a month. And here are really good also like marketing agencies, like social media marketing, recruiting, design agencies, video agencies. I've consulted thousands of them in my business before. And also like maybe fractional service firms. So you have to understand, for them, the highest pain problem they have in their business, usually they are stuck in their client's work. Because if you're an agency or a service-based, have a service-based offer, you just want to do a good job, you do done for you. So they are mostly capped by personal capacity, team friction, because they want to onboard good team members, but it's hard to find them. So here is also really, really good if they hit all four criteria, like if they have recurring revenue, measurable problems, repeating buying power, and also if they know other agency owners, of course, in their community, and who can refer to you. So that's really, really good offer too. And here I would also help them, very similar to the first niche I told you, in a specific thing. Like, don't just come in there and tell them, yeah, just scaling your agency or something. Make it more specific, make it more niche, so they can highly see you as an expert. Number 3 is like established service businesses who are making like more, like 500K to 5 million a year. And those are more like the old school companies. Those are like law firms, accounting, dental services, medical, real estate teams, contractors, like financial advisors, B2B service firms, like, and here is most of the times like the real money, who have real budgets. And you need to look at owners who are very technical experts and who maybe never learned it true from the business side. Like, they are amazing accountants, amazing lawyers, but their structures in their company is very outdated. They are not using AI. They don't have a set up systems or something. So those are amazing niche because they just have a lot of cash usually they are sitting on. And here it's also really important that you look for problems which are measurable. Like, for example, a revenue per partner, or lead to close, like how much capacity they have, like hire to productivity time. Like, you also want to find metrics, KPIs, which really, really let them track if it was good or not. Okay. And if you like create deep retention there, usually they refer you aggressively with professional other peoples. Like, a good accountant usually knows good lawyers. They maybe know a person who runs a golf course or something. So it's a very small circle. But also like the lifetime value of those clients is very, very good. And maybe they're not so connected. They don't go to masterminds and events like this. So this is maybe a little bit of a trade-off. They don't know 50, 100 other coaches, agencies like the other ones do. So it's a slower maybe circle. And also the sales cycle is a little bit longer because for them, they are not very used to making fast decisions and this sales goal and this, but the contract size usually is way bigger. So when you sell a 10K coaching offer versus, I don't know, you can sell a 80K consulting or agency offer to them, which is very normal. So a little bit slower sales cycle. They don't have this massive network like other coaches maybe have, but amazing when it comes to lifetime value and that you can make a lot of profit with them. Okay, number 4 of good niches are established e-commerce brands, and they are usually making between 100K to 2 million a month. Like, they make way, way, way more money because like the profit margins usually are way less in e-commerce brands. So you want to look for e-commerce brands who are established, like not beginners. Like, they have a very specific product market fit already and they are trying to scale. So they have a lot of money flowing and coming in, a lot of cash flow. And with them, you have to be highly, highly measurable. Like, they have usually their numbers in place, usually when it comes to those like numbers, if they make 1 million, 2 million a month already. So you need to look at numbers like their CAC, like cost acquisition cost, they are AOV, like for example, their average ordering value, LTV, lifetime value, like conversions, fulfillment cost. Like, with them, it gets very tactical. But because they have so much money and because they have so much repeating buying power, you can just build it in and blend it in like amazingly with them. So working with them is incredible. And you will have probably a lot of good margins too because they have a lot of growth. You can help them maybe on operational improvements to get even better margins, better CRM systems, better KPIs, like better ads. Like, so those are very, very good when it comes to consulting them. Okay, let's come to number 5 of the category, which is really nice to work with to get to 100K a month. And those are SaaS and software company who make like maybe 50 to 500K a month already. Because here also, you don't want to work with beginner software companies because a lot of software companies are failing. They're not really profitable because it's super expensive to build a software company. Unlike a coaching business where you almost need no capital, in a coaching business, in a software business, it's very, very different. So they need a long time usually to get profitable. So here you need to come with real measurable metrics to like real revenue, like clear hiring structures. Maybe you can help. They have maybe sometimes weak sales, weak hiring, too little salespeople in their team. So that's something you can help them with. And you also have to keep in mind that they often have like venture funding. So closing them on a call, you have to make sure that you're talking to the right person, like to the person who actually makes the decision. Don't just speak to a marketing person and then at the end they tell you, okay, I don't even make the decision. I don't even know if we have money. So there you have to keep in mind that maybe the sales cycle can be a little bit longer because they have a lot of funding in the background. Okay. But also they have very, very big network usually because they work with like marketers, they work with tech people, they work with funding people. So if you do a good job there, it's really, really a nice referral system you can build there. But you have to understand, you have to understand the SaaS world, the software world, because if you don't know how to win new clients there or how to operate in those businesses, when you have no experience before with it, it will be pretty hard. So this is something for people who have experience in this field already. Okay. All right, so those were the best niches to make the easiest 100K a month. Now let's come to point number 4. And this is why picking a niche matters more than your offer, sales, or even marketing, because you have to understand that you can fix all 3 of them, but all 3 of them sit on top of the choice of which niche you've chosen. So if there's no money in the niche, like you can't fix them. Like a better marketing just brings more broken people into it. So if you have no measurable problem, a better offer still selling something subjective. Or if there's no network density, better sales still means acquiring everyone from scratch and you don't build like a repeating system where you get referrals and referrals. Or if they don't have repeating buying power, like better relationship has nothing to retain them with. So this is something which is really, really important, that the niche is always the foundation of your offer. Everything else is built on top. If you have a weak niche, weak positioning, weak avatar, you can't fix it on the way. So founders who actually switch niches, they see instant growth. Not because they usually just got better at their craft, but because the market could finally support what they were building. And it's a little bit like the doctor analogy. Like if you look at a heart surgeon versus like a GP, like a general practitioner, it's the same field, different specialization. One makes 200K a year, the other one makes 2 million a year. So niche choices changes the whole economics of your business without even changing too much of your effort. So you are not picking what you just talk about, but you are picking the entire mathematical reality of your business which operates inside? It is a really, really important question. And that's why it's also so funny to me when sometimes people come to me and ask for advice and say like, hey, which niche do you think is better? It's A or B. And they just want they just want to really like get an instant answer to this and don't really invest time into it. But it is such an important question you have to answer. So take time with it. And number 5 is how to evaluate your current niche. Like if you have a business already and you're making 20K, 50K, maybe even 100K, but it just maybe feels pretty heavy. How can you evaluate it now? So don't nod at this video. Like run the diagnostic. Like take, for example, 20 minutes of your week and ask yourself the following 5 questions. Question number 1, does your average buyer have at least 10x of my offer price in monthly revenue or capital? I gave you the numbers. If you make 25K a month and your offer is 2,500, that's a good point. If no, selling to undercapitalized buyers means always negotiating, justifying, chases. It's not a good point where you're starting from. Question number 2, can clients measure the result in a hard metric? Dollars, hours, hires, conversation rates, leads, retention, weight loss, muscle gain. If no, sales calls are uphill forever. Like subjective outcomes don't scale because people at some point say, oh, I don't really know if it's worth it that much to me because it's just so fragile, like to really grab the measure, make sure it's measurable. Question number 3, after a great result, is there a natural path to selling to them more? And if no, if the answer is no, like pure acquisition, it's pure acquisition mode for you forever. You're constantly in this trap. So every revenue dollar means a brand new client. You always need a brand new client to make more money. And it is not really the best way to scale your business because taking your existing clients, it's way, way easier to sell to them. And then the 4th question, do my clients know each other? Is there a natural referral network? And if the answer is no, marketing has to do 100% of the work. Like there is no compounding in the niche itself. And the last question you have to ask yourself is, can I name 5 service-based founders who built a 100K a month business in this exact niche already? Like if I Google it, or do I know them maybe already? And if the answer is no, that's a serious warning sign because it might be not possible because the niche can't really support it. It's not like, oh, now I have to prove it. I'm the only one who can do it. No, it shows you that if it's not 2 more than people can do it, it's not really a good niche. Like there's not really buying power. Okay. And if the answer is no, or 2 or more, it's like the niche is just really the bottleneck. Like it doesn't have to do with skill. It's not the offer. It's not your marketing. You just picked the wrong niche. So really ask yourself the question. And if 2 or 3 of the questions is a no, you're already on the wrong track. So here's the belief shift, because most founders think a niche is a positioning decision. And it's not really. It's like an economics decision, like how fast you want to scale, how far you want to scale. Is the market really made for it? So your niche really determines like buyer wealth, willingness to pay premium, like measurability, reputation travel, like retention depth, growth predictability. So it's so much already which it is telling you. So don't just make this decision based on just picking a vibe. Like you're picking the math of your entire business. The good news is you can change it. The hard news is that most founders stay stuck for years because changing feels too scary for them, and then they never do it, and they grind at 40K a month inside a niche that was never going to deliver more than it was planned for. So the single highest leverage decision you will make in your business is this. So take it really serious. So to conclude this, ask yourself the following questions really quick. Does my niche hit all four criteria? Money, measurable problems, repeating buying power, and network density? If not, which one is missing and what is it costing me? Second question, can I name 5 founders who have built 100K a month businesses in my exact niche? If no, am I in a niche that is structurally can't really get me there? Next question, if I had to switch niches tomorrow, which of the 5 categories would I move into? And what's stopping me from doing it right now? To close this out, the founders who hit 100K a month aren't really smarter or more talented than the ones who make 30K a month. They are really not. They just picked a better niche and same offer, same sales skills, same marketing, but they just moved into a niche that hits all of the 4 criteria. And the entire business just scales like way differently because they have so much more possibility. So if you are working hard and not getting where you want to be, the answer might be not working harder. Like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's the truth. And it might be working inside a market that can actually support what you're building. And the niche is the foundation. Pick it correctly, and everything else will get easier. So if you're a coach, consultant, agency owner, or a service provider who is stuck below 100K a month, and you suspect your niche might be the capping growth, that's exactly the conversations me and my team have with founders like you every single week, because we will help you evaluate whether your current niche can take you where you want to go, identify the highest leverage niche shift it can't, and build the offer, positioning, and sales process to win in this market right away. So click the link below to book a call, and we will walk you through how that especially would look like for your business in details, how we've done it with hundreds of businesses and scaled them to 7 figures past year. Also, drop a comment what niche you are in right now and which of the 4 criteria you think is missing currently in your business. I read every single one of them. Cheers for listening. Yasha. Bye.